Let's get it started.
Oh, hello. Yes, let's get started. Hello, hello. Welcome to ARMA Teen League Hanchans. I've lost count. 15 and 16. So glad that you guys could join us. We are joined by two very special guests today. We have Corak
Hello, everyone.
and we have Shory.
Yes, hello. It's been a while, but I'm back to commentate once more with Corak this time. Very excited.
Yeah, it's really nice to like have you guys again. You guys are both like regular commentators. If you guys want to do like a short introduction of yourselves, Korak, you want to go first? 30 seconds.
Sure. I'm a longtime Seven Dawn. I've been playing for years. I run the big Mahjong Discord server. And most recently, I've been involved in the American Ricci Mahjong League, which is a now 5-division league with promotion and demotion to players in the US.
Yeah, but that has been some good stuff. I was following along with the first league, which was like preliminary, seeing what works, and it was really cool to see. And sure, 30 seconds, you go.
Yes, well, since Corak mentioned this 10-hole rank, it figures I could mention mine as well. I'm an 8 Dan right now. I haven't been very involved in the online Mahjong community. I've been a little bit outside of that. In the past weeks, I've had the opportunity to play on real life Mahjong, so that's been kind of fun.
Nice.
And yeah, it's actually been a while for me staring at this 10-hole screen. So we'll see how we go along.
Yeah. I'm gonna try something just to make you guys' lives a little bit easier because so last week we found out that the reason why I couldn't stream was because I was streaming the 10 host screen on like 1080p. So my stream would literally my stream would not be able to have enough data to stream out. So I put you guys to 480, but now I'm gonna go up to 720 just to see. But yes, it's really exciting to see you guys here. And I haven't had you guys on at the same time before, so I'm really looking forward to like seeing what kind of synergies you guys put together, or maybe what kind of roasts, that kind of stuff. I think it'll be some good stuff.
Well, I do want to say that I'm not really trying to make fun of anything. I'm not going into the screen looking to shit on people. But no, I figures I'd just get that out of the way. But yeah, I'm also excited. Haven't really had the opportunity to commentate with Corak much before. Hadn't listened to Corak much before, so we'll see.
I certainly don't go out of my way, but I do have an aggressive personality, and sometimes it can rub people the wrong way.
Well, we're just gonna see like how that binds together. So before we get started, not before we get started. So sort of just introduce the players that we're watching today. We have Mikan Khan in the East seat, Rachel, who is Queenie for the two of you who don't know. Sorry, who doesn't know, I don't think. Illegal in the West seat, and Ara in the North seat. Now Ara is Cubehead. If that rings a bell.
Yes. Cubehead recently moved to New York City and is part of the Richinomi Club. Rachel has been a mainstay in US Mahjong as well, but she's been around for a very long time, and we have a game starting.
So, oh god,
Yes,
right. It'd be good to see hands, wouldn't it?
yeah, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, so
yeah.
we're putting up with a 3 Dora, and so, gentlemen, what do you see?
I see a
Well,
lot
first
of
of all,
pairs in disgusting chi toy shape. For dealer on the right, we have decent shapes, weird Payonko. Need some draws across the way. We have maybe a distant Itsu and Mon. Not much else other than that really nice shape in Pin. Possible distant 234 Sanchoku, but you have to do floating Dora. On the left, pretty standard Pin Fu shape, maybe even an Itsu in Mon.
yeah, and we don't really see any standout hands. I mean, all of these hands are sort of middling to bad. So it's really going to come down to the next few draws to see how this hand turns out. We see ARMA in the North Sea drawing the Dora pair here. But it doesn't really advance his hand, and this is a very nice draw for the dealer, the Shah Uncle, considering that the rest of their considering as the rest of their hand is not really very advanced. We'll see how all of this turns out.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
dealer's hand's pretty terrible. The left has a pair, but you'd love to be able to call, but you have that horrible Hanchans in the hand, so you're probably going to have to draw it yourself.
Yeah, and it's interesting they dropped the E1 pair, which I agree with. They had sort of a pair overflow, but this is even a hand that, with the right draw, could turn into Tanyao. I mean, they could call the Dora, probably not in this shape, nobody will drop the Dora, but yeah, maybe they might actually be looking for sort of an Itsu development in case their Panshan turns into a Tanyao Kanshan, or they draw 4-pin or something like that.
And shape across the way is now by far the closest to Tenpai. Actually, Ishan 10. Of course, you don't really want to be on that Shampoo 7-mon, 6-mon weight, but with the Dora, I guess you'd take it.
Yeah, it's not really the end of the world, as they have a very, very nice draw here. Actually would have been in Tenpai if they hadn't dropped the 9-man, obviously. Can't really predict that, but I mean, this is a fantastic Ishanten.
Yeah, beautiful headless Ishan 10.
This one's a good one. I really that Amon draw like makes that hand from like slightly mediocre to oh my god, that's a really good hand now.
Yeah, and also what I sort of predicted the hand of Aura has come to pass is now they do have a sort of Tanya shape, but Tanya Dora-san looking to call a lot of tiles here. Now also
wow.
Ooh,
I don't like. Okay, I could see the 1-pin because 3 of the 2-pin are visible. I still probably would have just cut the Haku for now. We do have a Richi across the way. For Richi, Pin, Fudora, do Takamei, Beiko, but you see a whole bunch of 5s discarded and 1 8 discarded. So what? 3 left in the wall because 5 out.
3 left in the wall. Yeah, the third row is amazing though.
Yeah, it's not actually so bad.
There's one of them.
Especially considering it actually makes it very, very difficult for others to pursue their hand here. Like, there's a Tenpai draw, but he's gonna have to draw to drop the Dora to pursue it, and I'm just not sure if he has the guts to do that.
What are you gonna do?
Go for it. Press the button.
Eat. He does it!
Yeah!
He does. And I mean, this is dangerous. There's only 1 4-pin left in the wall. And the 5-8-man weight is not particularly great, but it's not super.
It's not Kasuji. It might come out.
Will Rachel cut the oh my god, never mind. Don't even need it.
Courage was rewarded as it often is. 5 Han, not the Uradora, but that's a nice start.
That is a nice start. Richi Tsumo Tanyao Dora 2, an amazing Tsumo there for Ara, and as we go into East 2 with Tuso as the Dora, and we kind of look around, look at Mikankan with that pair of like Hatsus, really kind of help. Oh my god. Alright.
They actually need Shanten from the starting hand, although it might be a little bit difficult to make use of the Tuso, although not that much. If they draw a 3-so, obviously, if they draw another 2-so, it's going to make this hand very good. But, I mean, the others, there are some people who are not super far behind. If you look at Illegal here, shape is not super great, but if they can quickly call 1 or 2 of these pairs, then that hand might be quite nice with the 2 Akka.
Oh, 1-star draw makes Mikankan's hand pretty interesting. Would you guys grade?
No, I'm throwing it back instantly. Oh. If anything, I'm tempted to fight. Oh, wow. That's a really aggressive play. No, if I draw 4 7-mon there, I'll reach you on the Kanchan, accepting the Dora.
Oh my gosh. That Hatsu draw now makes this...
Yeah, pretty decent development here. I mean, if they hadn't dropped if they hadn't dropped the Yamen shape here, they probably would have had to discard the Dora at this point. The occasional hit is just too bad. Like this, they can kind of maintain it. And actually, unless they draw Iso, they can really. I mean, I guess technically, if they draw Iso,
they can on the Hatsu and go for the Itsu. If you don't pair something up, obviously draw the 1, so it's good. Oh, okay. I do not like that at all.
That is very, very confusing to me. I mean, probably just it's probably just a mistake. Most likely, not really quite fully understanding the headless operation.
Well, headless is something you don't always think about, but when you get it, it's so beautiful because you can use everything as a Tonki weight. I often love going headless for that reason. Is instead of Ryaman, you have all those potential upgrades to pair up. Meanwhile, on the right, we're starting to see the hand develop. Bunch of pairs, but a couple of Dora. So you could call, and that could speed up really quickly. Of course, across the way, we have 2 Dora.
Anko draw for the for Rachel. Oh, 6-0 draw puts them into puts
Yeah.
Mikakan into Tenpai.
リーチ
Does take the
It does
Riichi on
put
the
him into
Penchan.
Tenpai, but you do have to kind of consider how this hand would have looked like that maintained the 8 or 9 so, but that's sort of in the
should
past
be.
now. So it's not super. It's not on its face. It's not bad. I mean, they have the Riichi Hatsu with one Dora, the 5,200 point hand, and as we see, Toyman most likely going to look to push that hand, and they have the
Gee.
3 so
Ooh.
yeah.
Now Toyman's on Tenpai for Tanya, Dora 2, waiting on the Genbutsu 4. So Rachel Tenpai's on a 5-pin draw, now waiting for the 4-7. So for Riichi, Dora 2, and Mikakan's in a lot of trouble, and they're sticking at that last 3-so on the wall.
Riichi Dora 2 is dealer. That's absolutely great here. We're starting to see those 7-so die off. They're completely dead, but there's the 4!
Oh, Riichi Simo Dora 2. No Urasan this time around, but Riichi, but dealer Manga and Simo instantly launches her up into a pretty nice first place. Ara is trailing very closely, and look at that hand note by Ara on the 6-man Dora, waking up with a lot of Manzu, a very nice Manzu shape. Chun Anko. Is this one-stop shop for suits? For one suit?
It's very possible.
Well, we can see that 8, yes.
As we're going to see them pursue that, there was a sort of possibility if something had developed around the middle tides and pins of the solo that it might turn out differently. But yeah, right now they're obviously going to pursue that Monagan with. I mean, there's even the second door, but yeah, the Shun Amanitsu with one door. Obviously, you do want to build a Monagan.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of really expensive hands developing. Looking at the hand at the right specifically, we see 2 Dora largely built around accepting a 3rd, but the 6-mon is dead, and now we have a decision for Mikan Khan as to what you're going to cut. I think you go with the 1-2. You could also throw the 3.
Takes the Ashanten.
Sort of an interesting choice, I would say. I'm sorry for Rachel or Queenie to cut the 2-man there. There was also a possibility of trying to build around the Tanyao, but obviously pursuing the closed hand here.
Yeah, these are some just monster hands coming to clash. That 6-pin draw really makes Queenie's hand really good, especially with the 5-man that's like floating. From her perspective, she doesn't realize that the 6-man is dead, but
yeah, just gotta just basically has to not miss the timing on cutting the 5-man because obviously we have a Honitsu that is in each under right now. So right now it's safe as well. We're not gonna miss the timing because this is a Tenpai and we see a Damaten here actually. It's on the pin for Dora Dora. What do you make of that?
Corak?
I'm obviously just going to hit the button here because you have 4 outs. You see the Honitsu, it's in another suit. So if the 3-6 is drawn by the Honitsu, it's just going to get pushed into you anyway. I think you're leaving points on the table with the Dama.
Yeah, especially as the dealer, and especially considering like if you draw an unrelated Manzu 10, are you really going to fold? Like it's kind of unlikely as we Sumogiri Dichi, which is a little pointless, but it is still it was the correct decision to Ichi to begin with. So this is just not throwing good money after bad, I guess.
I'm always annoyed by Sumagiri Riichi. It means several things. Either you tried to set a Suji trap the tile before, Tenpai on the left, winning on 5-mon.
On the
Or
Genbutsu
more
5-man.
this situation where you have a dealer who's not confident about their hand, or just anyone who's generally not confident. You wait a turn, you throw your tile, go, wait a second, that was dumb. I should have reached last time. And that's what this is. It's surprisingly a pretty good weight considering that. And, might come out. We'll see.
Well, it was a pretty interesting fold by Ara on the left there, because they were on a Mangan Tenpai. Bad weight, no less, but Genbutsu bad weight. But they folded on the 9-so because they didn't want to push the 9-so into Rachel's Riichi. What do you make of... but there's a bit of like a... Since we're playing M-League format with M-League Uma, it's a little bit more of an incentive to go for first place. So what do you guys make
push
of
the 9 every time. I'd probably push the 3 every time.
Push onto your death? That kind of thing?
Likely.
Well, when you have a Mangan, you can push against almost anything. It's annoying to have to wait on the door indicator, but you have plenty of shape upgrades, and Let's see, earlier the shape would have went on what, 7 mon, and it would have come out twice already. But as we know, the 3 would have dealt in.
Yeah.
Admittedly,
uh,
Soju look absolutely terrible against that board, but
Ooh.
I think you have to go out on a limb here.
Illegal.
we see an interesting decision here as Toyman, from this perspective, illegal to reach Tenpai on the Yakulas Dama 10 for a while, but really relatively dangerous E-pin and ended up folding in the end.
Yeah. Those kinds of like tight K10 decisions are always so difficult. It's like, do you think there's enough value in just going for gosh, I'm losing my words today. Do you think there's value in
1,500 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think folding's fine because you had 8-pin, 3-pin pretty early before the Ricci, so a 1 looks really suspicious there.
We actually saw
Yeah, especially,
Mikan.
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say that we saw Mikan skip the Haku pawn, even though there's 1.6k in the middle.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that, but I guess this hand, well, I mean, I would certainly have folded this. We see
Would have
actually,
just called it, especially since you're going to be. The choke point in this hand is the Dora, and passing it again, now you have a dead pair in this hand. I don't know what you're going to do with it. Even if you were thinking Honitsu shift, you can't do that now.
yes, wow, and we have another Dama 10 surprisingly.
Dama.
I mean, we have the Ida Yonken, which I guess some people pay attention to on the 3-6 man weight, but I mean, this is just
I think knowing Queenie, I think she's greeting for Sanjoku. Like that is my read on her.
Question that that's how
she's such a greedy
Rachel's
player.
playing this one.
Oh, and then
The Karagiri Ricci 2-4, I don't think that does anything for this hand.
Yeah,
because it could very easily be a 2-4-4-5 shape.
It actually makes the 3-6 man weight look way more dangerous, but if again you pay attention to this kind of stuff, which some people do. But I mean, again, I don't think Ricci was the correct decision to begin with, so it's certainly also the correct decision. Yeah, as you know, she's actually missing out on the Sanchoku, but I mean, this is just you can't really look at that.
Waiting on the 3-6 mon for Rishi Tanya Pinfu.
Nearly dead. There is 1 6-mon left, and that's it.
Yeah, it is nearly dead, but I mean, it's also very, very difficult for anybody else to push this hand. I mean, Toyman and Mikan Khan are, their hands are in absolute shambles, and the only body who is even in Ishantan is Aura, but it's a Chitoitsu Ishantan, which that's really not something you want to go out of your way to push with.
Fight a dealer Ricci with, yeah, never feels good, especially, but you have the Dora. If you got Tempai, I mean, you're going to Ricci it.
Oh, and so on Khan. He can't Khan. He
yeah,
cons it!
Yeah, he's actually running out of save tiles a little bit. I mean, I guess there's the 7-pin and the 8-pin's not looking awful. But yeah, actually, after the Khan, like, what are their plans here? Because that hand is not even very
well, it's Ishan 10. Decent
it's
one.
Tempai.
Yeah, you could reach this.
Way to make me look stupid. Okay, so they do actually end up in Tenpai. And the weight's actually not super bad. There's still 2 tiles left in the walls. One of them gets drawn.
There's 1, so probably nothing, but 2 players Tempai. And Rachel with that really nice starting hand and just nets 500 points after the Ricci stick.
Yeah, I think even if she did the Sokori, her weight was already like 7 in everybody else's hand. She had like 1 part.
Always the problem with those 3-6 weights, but right now everyone's looking at the middle and going 3,900 must grab points.
Yeah, they're certainly looking at weight, but I mean, look at everybody starting at. This is very, very difficult to do anything with. I mean, illegal is probably okay. Now we have a Hatsu pair, but I mean the rest of the hand is just full still.
Mikan Khan's probably
really
Mikan Khan's probably the most likely, right? Because of the Hatsu pair and everyone else is kind of scrambling. I guess Queenie is at Ishanten right now. It's kind of an awkward Ishanten, for sure.
It is kind of an awkward Ishanten, but you can even call this hand. It wouldn't be so bad. As we do see the Tanyao shift, not accepting the Ishanten.
I think
instead, you have bad shapes, especially the 2-4, because your alternative to me is cutting the 2-4 pin. I'm not taking the regular Ishanten anyway.
Yeah. I really like how Ara is playing this hand. He's played it very Shibori-like from the start, essentially being like, my hand is so awkward, I don't want to give away this Yakuhai. Like, I don't want someone else to get their fingers into this pot. So, if I can't win, you can't get your Yakuhai. But then, as their hand progresses, they're more willing to pose, and I wonder what he's going to do with the Tatsu. Will he give it away? And he does give it away at this point.
He does give it away, and it's sort of a difficult decision. I
Taken.
guess not. Yeah. If you take this hand, if you take this Hatsu, you actually don't really push forward. You are still in Ishanten as you are now, but your weight turns a little bit better. But I mean, it's difficult because the 9-pin is bad. So even though this pinzu shape looks very, very nice, it doesn't actually turn the hand that much faster if you call the Hatsu. So I do see some logic behind this.
I just like the
3-pin,
ability
on the other hand, really helps the hand, though. We have Tempai on the right.
Ricci waiting on the Contran 3-pin. Still 2 tiles and 1 tile left in the wall. Contran 3-man Tempai for Ara. And Ara doesn't cut it. Avoids dealing in for 1 turn.
Yeah, but I mean, this hand, he's going to want to push. And yeah, it's obviously going to come out now. And this is actually a very, very nice push by Ara, and they're going to draft themselves 4 Ricci sticks in total.
The juiciest pot in the middle, 1,000 points plus the 4,900 points in the middle, taking 5,900. A nice little chunk of change for Hakunomi, right?
Well, it makes it a fight for first now, as opposed to Rachel really pulling away from the rest of the table.
Yeah. So we enter into East 3 with Chun as the Dora. We see 1 Chun stranded in Mikankan, Rachel, and Illegal's hand. Ara, without the burden of the Chun, progresses their hand normally. And who will be the first to cut the Chun? Very likely be Illegal, in my opinion, because of how his shapes are looking. Like, it's very likely he might
agree with that. Generally, you hold on to it until either it's getting kind of late, you're not comfortable, or you have your 5 shapes. And I think Illegal has all 5 shapes pretty well established at this point.
Yeah.
The only thing that's really missing is a pair, so that's probably where they're hanging on to now, but...
Oh, Rachel catches up. Oh, and Illegal draws the 3, so pushes the Chun. Now, both Mikankan and Rachel are going to see that they can cut the Chun fairly nicely. 2-man drop puts Rachel into Tempai. The best draw possible, 3-6 for Ricci Pin Fedora 1. 3-man draw for Ara deals into the Apatsu. Oh no!
Yeah. I mean, this was a hand you just had to push. You had the Ricci Pin for you had to confront Sanchaku, but very, very bad timing there.
Yeah. So I didn't quite catch Ara's hand properly, but I think there was an opportunity maybe to get rid of the 6-step beforehand, which might have avoided that fate, but I didn't look at it properly because there were a lot of fireworks happening.
Do you mean literal fireworks?
No, the metaphorical.
Okay, well...
No, we don't get fancy effects in Tenho that much.
Yeah, and I don't have them on my editing screen, unfortunately. Although, you know, it can be, if there's a petition for it, it can be done.
I mean, there's not enough swimsuits on Tenho, that's why the platform is dying. Anyway, as we see Ara with the Ishanda, they can call the Chun and be in a Tempai immediately for 2,900 if they want to continue the dealer turn. We're going to see if they do that once the Chun comes out. I mean, it's already the 6th turn. So,
But there's also...
Well, look at Mikan Khan's hand. That is such a wide Ishanten.
Yep, Tempai. But unfortunately, just too late. Just too late.
Yeah, Ricci Dora. I don't like the Dama here. You might as well Ricci, but it's not going to matter.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, absolutely won't matter. And we do see sort of the Chun call being, I guess, the correct call.
Are we doing the school of if the results are correct, it was correct?
No, I think that was just correct on its face. And yeah, well, we are. Oh, actually, not in the South one. This is on the East 4.
Yeah, well, that was a dealer win, so we're in another East 4, and we see some. Everyone has a hand that has potential to get big really quickly, but no one's there yet.
Illegal's hand is probably the best one. Just looking straight at it, it's just so efficient.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to that hand. As they draw a 4-pin, which actually is quite a decent upgrade. It's, I guess, it's not really a direct upgrade as well. It's a very interesting draw from Queenie. Basically destroys any hopes of this hand turning into a Chinitsu, as you kind of do have to take this. But the hand now actually also is a very nice shape. They have a Kutsuki shape around the Sunpin, and they have this loose nun that can basically become anything at any point. And this is a 10 by now, but won't be taken. And I'm sort of interested in seeing what the holdup there is, because what are we really looking for? I guess there's sort of a thought of
For the
turning this
4-pin
into a
for
with
the
a 4-pin,
Itsu.
but that's not particularly likely. So
I think there's also
Yes,
like
I am a well-known advocate of when in doubt, hit the button. When not in doubt, still hit the button.
yeah, it could be a 4-pin. It could also be. I think
no, that will work. As actually we see illegal here, basically looking for a better hand, but looking for a better weight rather.
Oh
probably
My
not even.
goodness, that is so greedy. I think that's pretty reckless this late in the hand and immediately punished as there's a Ricci right behind.
Oh, she's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. You wanted the
Has to do it now.
Chinitsu.
Once you've discarded that first tile, you have to just go for it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very difficult for this hand to even reach 10 by at this point. It's likely it's going to reach 10 by now just to prove me wrong, but
Look at all the tiles that have to be pushed into this hand.
Oh, unkind on another person's dealership.
Not
No
like
respect. And
yeah,
oh,
that really is. I mean, they are in
illegals.
last place, and they are going to.
We have a pursuit Ricci here.
Yeah, and this 3-6-pin weight is awful.
It's dead.
It's dead. And the 1 4-pin weight is see, is it completely dead?
Oh wait, is that Tenpai?
Asking me. Yeah, it is. It is
That's
Tenpai.
Tenpai waiting on the
weight,
6.
but
Oh yeah, sorry, the 2.
Oh my god. So we got a 2-pin Chinitsu. That is one left.
One tile left on the wall. But
Oh.
won't come here. And I mean, they basically ended up. Queenie basically ended up on the same 2-pin weight that was there to begin with, but it wouldn't have mattered much, I guess.
Wouldn't have mattered for illegal, but I don't know if Mikan Khan would have pushed the same way against 2 Ricci's.
Well, maybe. I mean, they even counted the Ricci, and they did have quite some nice values, so it's entirely possible.
So we
As
enter.
last place, it's sort of difficult to make those judgments.
So we enter South 1-2 with a lot of bonuses in the middle again. 2.6k in the middle. 2-pin is the Dora. Mikakan's hand already Ishan 10. Ada's hand needs to play a lot of catch up. So does Illegal. So does Queenie. Or Rachel's rather. Everyone's hands are very, very, very subpar.
Well, I mean,
she draws a 7, so
Mikakan's hand is subpar, but yeah,
Yeah, except for the Hanchans, which is always annoying to fill. But that's a great one. Now you have the upgrade to Tanya. You could even call this if needed later.
We really are doing like a commentator's curse edition.
Second Dora.
We really are doing like a commentator's curse edition of like ARMA League, where we say something is bad and then they instantly draw like a perfect improvement tile. And it's like, well, that's no longer bad. Riso offers Mikan Khan.
I don't like this call because you're losing the value. And instead throws the door, it gets pwned. There's no Yaku though across the way. It's Tenpai for 3 but meaningless.
For now though.
Yeah, but I mean the improvements there are not so bad. They draw 7,
You're absolutely taking it. And this is the other part. Once you call, once there's a call across the table, I was like, okay, we better get what we can out of the middle, especially with all that.
Yeah, but I mean the 7-1 is actually looking fairly good. Especially with a 5-man now called, 7-1 is harder to use.
So
and of course the wrong end of the weight with the 1-so comes out.
So I find that pretty interesting, Corak, that you would say that you wouldn't take the 3-so chi, considering that this is Tanya Dora too, with 2.6 in the middle. It's like, that's a very nice chunk of change, right? Like an 8,000-ish point hand.
It is. I just don't like the Kanchan in Mon. I think there are a lot more improvements there. You can certainly call it, especially given you're in fourth, but I think that's kind of why I'd pass that one. Is deeply in fourth, I'm looking for a ton of value.
Well, we saw that Aratsu mode, and again rakes in the sticks. I wonder how many stolen sticks Ara has had this Hanchan. That's like 6 so far.
Basically keeping afloat only in cheap hands, and the others failed Ricci attempts. But yeah, keep themselves in second place, and it's not a bad placement for them at all. I mean, their team is a little bit down in the standings, but even a good second place. I mean, it's not so far advanced. Even a good second place might not be bad.
So
Interesting option with Rachel here. Would love to get the Chinitsu. Kind of floating the 789
Oh my
Sanchoku,
God.
but I think you just go for it now.
So here's an interesting question. If Rachel draws the 7 pin, you just take the Tenpai, right?
Oh,
At that
absolutely.
point, you would take the Tenpai, yeah. There's just not enough. I mean, you would be in a very kind of bad sunshine otherwise. But now, I mean, even now, if you draw the 7 pin, you obviously take this. But this is not a bad shape for Jinitsu, I gotta say.
Yeah, absolutely not. Man, Rachel would really love to take all those Manzu that Ara is dropping right now. Yeah.
Just a little bit too late to draw the 4-man. If it came out now, then you would really want to take it, but it's a little unlikely. And now we do have
Ricci Tanya Ipeka waiting on 3 pin, of course. You don't trust Ricci Suji, and you never trust Suji to the Dora tile, so anything that's going to be using that Dora shape is scary. And yeah, right there, draws the 3 and says nope.
And we'll see what comes out later, but it's hard to imagine that happening.
Oh, it does come right out.
But I've been wrong before. I was actually in the middle of my sentence.
You're in the middle of saying I've been wrong before as the title comes out.
Yeah. And I don't really understand the judgment, but it is fine, as we have a very nice shape for Mika.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, if they had called that, it would have been bad, but they didn't. So the hand is actually fairly good now. I mean, the Dora Shah is a little bit difficult to call, but the Haku, you can imagine that coming on very quickly, and then, I mean, they don't even have to go for the Honits, potentially.
No, I think you're just taking anything you can get here.
Yeah.
Of course, the shock can come out any time. We don't see anyone with any of them other than the 2 right in front of us. That's an instant pawn.
It is a pawn, and we'll see what happens now. It's the 2-man discard. Right now, they can still kind of maintain the potential for Honitsu without actually having to commit to either Honitsu or not Honitsu, but we'll see how that draws turn out.
9 may end up helping, but okay. Now, of course, the shock comes out where you can guarantee Toy Toy.
Yeah, or you can just go for Haku, Shadora-san, the guaranteed mana with a 1/4 bin, which is probably actually better at this point. But
the shark comes out, you pawn it, get rid of the 2 pin, skip a win on the 3 pin, then cut the 3 pin for Sha, Haku, Toy Toy, Honitsu, Dora-san. Just go for the buy.
I mean, yeah, you can.
If you want, but I mean, the thing is, they're quite far down in the rankings. So really, if they summon Hanuman, then they go up to 2nd place, but first place is quite far out of reach.
Oh, that's disappointing with 3. So would now have
no, because the hand is so difficult to win. Like even if they cut 2 pin or 3 pin, like the hand on the 3 sword. In the 3 sword and Shampoo, that would have been very, very difficult to win. This 1/4 bin wait, I still have a lot of trust in.
6 9-man wait for Rachel. Just wants this hand to be over with. Draws the Shah. Will they cut the 6 so? Will they cut the Shah? They cut the 3 pin. They're going the full green. Now 10-5 for Shah, Haku, Toy Toy, Dora-san. Cards it.
The 3-sided wait. Yes, this is what I was thinking. This is why I would have taken the Tonki. is gonna have your 3-sided wave. We have a con into the 4 Dora. That is a terrifying hand all of a sudden.
Oh my gosh. Oh, 7-star draw by illegal. Illegal cuts in! She cuts in!
Well, potentially a Sun Baiman, but
Oh my
it is still a Sun
It's a Sun
Baiman. It's a Yakuman then.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that could have been Kazue Yakuman.
Oh my god, and what an amazing hand for Mikan, and launches him straight up to first place. What was that? Sha Haku Honitsu Dora 7?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Well, Mikan living up to the name.
And now Rachel's in the position she didn't expect herself to be in, where she actually has to, like, fight. And, like, not with a trivially sized hand as
Not
well.
only win a hand, but it can't be a dumb little 1-Han hand. You need 3 Han here.
It's another Dora Khan opportunity.
Mikan, will they live up to that name and Khan the Dora?
Yeah, won't take it here. This is a little bit of a decision that I'm not quite understanding of cutting the 8-man, but last time they completely proved me wrong, so we'll see.
Well, the other part of conning it is it's Dora. Immediately, everyone at the table gets scared. I mean, I'd pressed the button a while ago.
And can con it here?
Keeping this 2-man around is a little bit difficult, because the timing of when to con that now is very, very difficult, especially as being already first place. And I mean, second place is not so far behind that pressing Khan really is how they do it.
And they
got another 2 Dora.
The shapes are significantly worse. I don't like that, but you do upgrade to 6 Dora, and now Ishan 10 most likely will end up with that 7-pin weight.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Oh, okay, that's a nice little upgrade.
Can switch out of it at this point.
The 8-man discard sort of coming back to haunt them, but this is potentially still very nice. I mean, the 5-7-man, there's one of each, I believe, left in the wall, so...
And the 5-man is going to look so safe if this gets Tenpai.
Every draw Mikan gets just makes his hand just a little bit better.
Yeah, this is why flow is real.
Okay, 4-man. Okay, that's
okay, well, that one's a little bit tough. I don't think you can really make any use of that, but
7-pin draw. Best not to underestimate Ara.
They have the opportunity for another 8-man. Very interesting to see what they do now.
Well, you generally lock in one of the pairs. The question is which one. Okay, going for the potential 6-9 weight.
I mean, I gotta say, the 9-man does look relatively safe at this point if they call Ichi, but it's difficult to imagine anybody really pushing hard into that. As we do actually have a decent,
there it is. That's the right one. You obviously reach. You can have a Yaku. Riichi, Dora 6.
And you know what's the big trouble is if you look on our left here, Ara, if they get into Tenpai, they might be forced to cut the 2 5-pin. And they do cut the 5-pin! Into the Ipatsu! Reach Ipatsu Dora 6?
What is happening?
No, Ura, it's a Baimon!
I believe all I can say about this match is con for flow.
Con for flow. What a lost 2 hands. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So
from last place, so winning 40,000 points in 2 hands.
Yeah, so what's that?
Plus 77.5.
Wait, I need to find him.
Staring last in the face, and all of a sudden, Mikan was 77.5.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, you can say Rachel or Queen is confused and be disappointed, but maybe the other point is you just be happy that you got out of the way of that.
Yeah, I feel like not getting smacked by that was is a good way to get out of there. To be honest, because that was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
And the rich get richer. So the UNSW Wanderers are already in first place and now in the face of a giant 77.5 victory.
And without further ado, welcome Mikan to the stream. Hello.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Does someone want to link the log? I don't know where the log is. But yeah,
No, we don't want to look at your last place. Come on.
So, yeah, congrats on your win. How do you feel?
Thank you. I feel like yeah, I feel like very good about myself. I genuinely thought I was gonna lose that 100%.
Well, we all did.
Yeah, yes, I didn't realize that I was the one that was being watched, and I was oh okay, I better step on my game. That's basically what happened. Someone told me, hey, look, you're the one being watched. So I was like, you know what, I'll step up my game then, and yeah,
making it interesting, more interesting for us, the audience. That is.
Yes,
So
yes.
can you
What
talk
did you
about
guys?
that big Honitsu hand with the San Baimon?
Yeah. Look, honestly, I was put into a corner, right? And I guess I felt the winning streak after winning off the Suji trap, yeah, on the 3-pin. And I was like, you know what? I think this is it. And I felt the flow, it was.
Oh, is
very
that
nice.
right? Yeah, I get you.
Yep.
So we're trying to bring up the screen, right? I don't feel like there are any other hands I
So-
particularly want to talk about. None of them particularly come to mind as interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Talk about the last one as well.
I'm trying to remember which hand was the interesting one, but yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, give me a second, my stream. Hello? Can we be heard?
We can hear you. The screen's pretty fuzzy though.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I had to lower the quality because we're not streaming out very well right now. So you guys suffer more than the audience suffers. That's my philosophy right now. But yeah, so I think I'm happy just to skip
That's
to
okay.
this.
We've seen this hand once already.
Yeah. So I'm happy just to skip to this point here where where do we go? This one? Yeah. So, how did you feel once you got to this Shah draw over here? What were you thinking? Were you thinking like
Yeah. So not going to lie, as I was explaining to one of my teammates, I didn't realize that the West was Dora until this point, and I'm like, hey, I think this is Dora, so I'm gonna commit to the Toy, and yeah, I was like, I might as well just tanky on one of the Pinzu, and I kind of regretted it when I threw the 3-pin out, and then I don't know who it was that was to my right, conned as well and threw the 2-pin out, and I was like, ooh, could have won on that, but yeah, it was very interesting up to this point. I was like, maybe it's in my favor now, and I have to con, it's in the name.
Twice even. Yeah, and then there's another con afterwards, and that's the big one. That gets you 4 Han, and that's what boosts this from the Hanemon to a San Baimon. And of course, if the last 5 so would have come out, that would have been a Kazue Yakuman.
I don't think
that is.
I don't know if we play Kazoi. I don't know if that's an option to take off in Tenho. I forgot.
I don't think Tenho has a way to disable it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it would make Kazue Yakuman on the 5 so, which surprisingly live. There's like one left. In the wall.
Oh yeah, that is true.
But yeah, and then from this point onwards, you were in just like a very, very nice first place. And then you reached this hand where you drew Adora, and then Adora here. So Shory
right here.
At this point as well, yeah, I was like, do I con it? I'm like, I guess I'll wait for it. I thought I should start playing safe, seeing as I already got first, but what's the fun in that, right?
So the commentators actually had their own opinions.
Concerned by the efficiency hit here. By cutting the 8, you'd end up drawing 9s multiple times in backfires. So there are plenty of options. You could have cut the 5, you could have conned the 2, you could have discarded the 2, although that would have been a little sad.
Yeah, exactly. I had to keep the 2, but yeah, I did realize that I wasn't very efficient in my throws, so I was like, okay, I better. I think it was just a high of getting first, and I was just like, I wasn't really concentrating, and then it took a while to just get back into it.
Nice. Shory.
Well, it certainly worked out. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I have to make up for my team for you know, being in the, you know, sort of plus minus zero area. I was like, I better step up my game a little bit, you know.
You have to catch up to the rest of your team.
Exactly.
I see. Sure. Any last comments before we move on?
No. Thank you for having me here, and yeah, good luck to the next people that will be playing.
Worries, glad to have you.
Thank you very
So,
much.
we're gonna go on a break because we ended really early. So the next set of games will start at on the hour, so they'll be starting in 12 minutes. Please stay tuned while we for more Mahjong. Really, be right back. Hello, hello. Welcome back to ARMA League Season 3. Oh my god, why did it take so long for me to say? Season 3. We're on Hanchans 16 right now. And we are again joined by Shory and Corak. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
I mean, it'd be pretty funny if I was suddenly gone.
It would be pretty funny. Oh god. But yeah, we had a really interesting first Hansha where someone got a Sanbaimon Ron, which is not an open Sanbaimon Ron, which is not something you see every day, that's for sure.
Open Sanbaimon Yasume Ron.
Oh yeah, it was the Asame, wasn't it? Kazuo Yakuman Takame. And into a Baimon direct hit, which very much put Mikan in first place, so that was interesting. And yeah, so we're on this Hanshan over here. So we have Unifan69, which, let me go look, is 5. That's his name. Well, that's his Tenho name, so I'm going to be using 5 from now on. In the east seat, Big Belly in the south seat, Cyber777 in the west seat, and En Hombre in the north seat. I really hope one day I could just introduce the players and the game starts perfectly on time. So I feel, like I did that on purpose.
It's always fun when it says 2004 JST and it starts at 05.
Yeah. Damn it, Tenho. So unreliable. Come on! Come on! Start the game! We have Mahjong to watch.
Yeah. What's the hold up?
What's the hold up?
Okay,
What
so
is...
Are we going to watch from Unifan's perspective, or
Yeah, we always just take one person's perspective and go from that point. So, the first round, we have Dora as the 5-pin, Unifan opening up with 2 easts, which causes a 9-man aggressive pawn by Unifan. Need to cash in their hand as soon as possible. Big Belly in the south seat has a few nice shapes, but also very ugly disconnected honors, which is not so great. It does elect to get rid of the east, which is pawned by Unifan69. Ishanten already for Cyber, not a great Ishanten, but it certainly is one. And Tenpai. And Richi! That's a very quick Richi. And Hombre.
I don't actually like the Richi that much. I just cut the 9-8.
Oh!
So, okay, well. Okay, there I get to have the chance to look dumb. The Patsumo for 4,000.
So
it didn't take very long.
It's not even 4,000, it's 1,326.
5,200, yes.
That was over very quickly, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's off to a roaring start, really.
So we move.
It might continue. I mean, this hand that they have right now, can't see it particularly well, but this is at the very least study on Shantan, and plenty of upgrade opportunity. I mean, now they have an Itsu potentially.
Sorry, let me up the quality back just so that.
Oh, that is so much better.
Sorry.
So much better.
Yeah, there you go. Now can you guys tell the difference between the tiles now?
Well, it's going from 160 to 480, as far as I can tell.
Oh,
yeah.
damn it, Discord.
1080p is just wow, they take it instantly Ichi again. I mean, this is basically well, this is essentially a Ichi pin full of maybe a Dora, so that's very straightforward.
It's a lot more direct. The last one, I would have cut 9-pin. Now, drawing the 7-pin, I actually like Furi Tenrichi in that case.
Well, they actually summoned it before I could think about it more, so I would have to I would have had to get a better look before actually thinking about it.
And we see that En Hombre is in a Kutsuki Ishanten here for Richi, maybe Pinfudora 1, depends on what they draw.
Big Belly is a beautiful hand.
Yeah. And so Big Belly is also not likely to fold, considering he has very little information to fold. And oh, that 6-0 is simmered by Cyber, Richi Simo Pinfudora 1. Another 1-3-2-6. Moving on to East 3, and oh my gosh, just these two hands just disappeared so quickly.
Well, the best strategy is always just sumo.
Yes.
It is true. Just see the first to reach in sumo, as we have a potential uncan from our Shimashita player. Yeah, won't do it. They still have honor tiles to get rid of, but that hand might be particularly very good if they draw something around the 5, so we can maybe expect a can in the future there. But right now it actually probably wouldn't be very smart to can, because still something like a 3-month to draw, a 1-month to draw, 4-month to draw, all of those actually turn this kind of hand to like a turn this Kanch to like 2 shapes basically.
Oh my
But
gosh.
well, there might be interesting stuff coming.
Oh my
We have another
gosh.
very, very nice hand from
Wow.
our Jesus. What is his name? Cyber.
Yeah, Cyber.
Trying to form on maybe setting up a Suji trap in the future, but the Ichi Dora at the very least. So
Well, it's also just the widest Ishan 10, so seems perfectly fine.
well, yeah, but could have got the 8-man, maybe get something.
Yeet.
But,
10
well,
Well,
what am I
what
saying?
did we say? Just sumo.
Just
Yeah,
draw it.
I was not looking so bad. I have 4 tiles left in the wall. I mean, 4/7, so you can't expect that to come out from anybody. Nobody's particularly. I mean, the best is Unifan having a Hanchans here, I guess. But
Oh no, Enhombre, I think, was Ishan 10 before they got rid of their sharp hair.
Ishan 10. I think I would have cut the 1-mon instead because it's Suji. It gives you some flexibility later. Instead, it's just more or less folding at this point. Might back into it with that 8-so draw, though.
maybe. So we have maybe actually. It is entirely possible that Big Belly's hand could turn out into like a safe kind of tenpai, but not looking particularly likely right now. So they get rid of the 8, so this is a very interesting discard.
That is a push, and Hombre says thank you. I was afraid of that one.
South.
Wow.
Four.
Do they really
Well, the
hate
South
this one?
is
So far, it is completely
dead.
safe.
You just
so,
throw it
really,
back. It's dead. I think that's Tempai on the left now. Yeah, it is
Tenpai
Tempai
for
waiting on
6/9.
6/9.
Yeet.
With the
Not a
early
super
4,
bad reach.
yeah, you just reachy.
Alright, you guys are interrupting each other. So, Shory, what were you trying to say? Oh no!
Well, thank you for the reach stick on top of that.
And the Ura as well, launching Cyber's hand up to a Mangan. 14,000
insult to injury, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we do move on to East.
Reachy.
Sorry, what was that?
And I have another very good starting hand.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't quite catch that.
That's the curse of Ricci, is even those terrible weights that you never throw live are just going to come out there. But you don't have a Yaku, you don't have a choice.
Yeah. Especially in a first place centric format, fighting against first place is a lot more tempting of an option because you're just like, well, I don't want you to run away with the hand. And a chance to direct hit you is some good stuff here. So,
yeah, this 9-pin weight looked fairly decent still. There was the 9-pin was Genbutsu for the dealer Ichi, and none had come out yet, I think so. Not so bad.
Choice here across the table. Do you wait for the Dora? Do you keep the red 5-so? Instead goes both. Says we'll get rid of one of our pairs and see what happens later.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting choice. We'll see how it pans out. I'm not really sure what to think of that. It's not a choice I would have made, but it doesn't necessarily make it bad. Now obviously the 3-man way is the 3-man is kind of a tempting draw. Although then kind of go to the red door
If you
anyway.
pair up 7, if you pair up the 8-so, I think you should go Tanyao.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, makes sense to me. We do see that Big Belly is sort of progressing towards a fairly nice Tanyao shape with 2 Dora in it as well. Not willing to get rid of the last Nan though, wants to keep it as a safe tile, and especially Cyber as well with that early lead, getting rid of the Aka 5, so keeping the shapes, but also with the safe north cut whenever they want to cut it. 2, 3, 4 soundtrack hands for Enhombre, but the 1-so cut early is gonna hurt their hand progression quite a bit.
We see a Dora draw across the way. All of a sudden, that hand's a beautiful Ishan 10.
What was that, Shory?
That is a very it is a fair Ishanto, and I mean the E1 is already dead, but the 2-man is Suji, so might be something coming out there, and it's a very early Suji, so it's not out of the question that 2-man will come out if they kill the Ichi.
Ishan 10 there for Big Belly. Got a very, very nice Salmon Chan shape. kind of like to cut the, if they draw a safe tile, they could cut the Forcer and have a very, very safe summon Shandrang Shanten. Yeah, a lot of these players just sort of posing at Ishanten now, especially for Enhombre as well. But Enhombre cuts the 9-mon. Not willing to push forward the Ishanten. A little spooked out by the inability to see any Dora. Doesn't want to cut the Dora, doesn't want to cut the 4-mon. Just sort of presses it and back into Ishanten. 6-0 is Tenpai for Big Belly. Will they decide to reach it? No, they Dharma. Wants to see if they can snipe off a greedy player.
Well, a little bit. Because, but the 6-pin does actually still give them a gives them a mangan. So maybe that's what they are thinking.
Well, Hombre has a decision. Does push the door. It is Suji, but you don't necessarily trust it here. Just taking for now actual Yaku, because it was K10 before, or 4E10 rather.
Yeah.
With a bunch of the 3s dead, there was only one left.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, that's
and we see a lot of these players very differently from the different last Hanchan. All these players were playing very aggressively for that K10. Unfortunately, for 5, it did force them to deal in. But a lot of these players were like, they were aggressively pushing and opening their hands, trying to go for that K10. Which is a different style.
Dealing in for 39. Dealing in for 3,900 isn't that bad, because if you pass up the Tenpai, you're gonna net a minus 3,000.
Sort of
because
just
of course you get so of course it's bad compared to 1,500, but it's the difference between a potential plus 1,500 and potential minus 1,500, because there would have been 2 players Tenpai.
Chitoi Ishanten for Enhombre, but more importantly, Suanko 2 Shanten. Do we see any? There's still 2 cells in the wall. Still 2 cells.
Dora.
Oh.
I don't like that. I think they're
no respect for potential Chitoits.
Yeah, completely giving up on the Chitoitsu. Even you do have the potential backfire on the pay because we have a discard of it from first turn, and just probably selling out, especially dealer. But that's a shortcut to Hanemon or even Baimon with Uradora.
Jun Pon here by Cyber wants to wash away this hand to keep his lead. Waiting on the Contra 8-mon. Still 1 tile left, but only 1 tile left, unfortunately.
1 tile left. Not very likely.
I think you just call the non at this point, because you have an open hand. You figure it's very likely, if not Tenpai, at minimum Ishanten, and your hand's honestly bad.
At this point, it's, yeah.
Ooh, that one hurts. Instant.
Well, sometimes you can speak things into existence, even if they're not. Even if they don't make you look stupid. We have a Unifan 69 now. Does that person have another name, by the way? With a slightly better Shanten now. Or rather, the Shanten with more value and now getting to Tenpai.
Tenpai.
Damaten.
Dama's waiting on 2-pin.
Goodness, and the Damatens are just all over the place. And the question is kind of, what are they afraid of? Because 2 Dora, okay, well, nothing, apparently. Just give them a minute.
No longer afraid.
Something I've seen a fair amount before is just people thinking it's some sort of bait because you have Sumogiri as opposed to your last tile, but the 9-pin wouldn't give any information. Oftentimes they'll just fish, well, I'd really like some extra value here, but it's just so much easier to throw the stick in. Because if you don't, you're giving people 1 more turn to draw against you.
Yeah, you gotta just throw the stick in just to, what's it called? You gotta throw the stick in to just simplify your brain, right? So you throw the stick in and you go off and you just do whatever you want.
has Big Belly here the choice to make, maybe calling for Kate on the 9 pin. They would have to throw out the 2 or the 5 so, but obviously a little bit
You
difficult.
call that one. I think you just call that one and throw the 5.
Perhaps. But these players, I guess, are a little bit on the defensive side this round, as we have well, they did get the 3,000 points.
So the Hitori Tenpai there for Unifan 6905 as we move on to South 1. A very speedy Hanchan already. No, just no. Was there even a dealer repeat?
We did have a dealer repeat from
Yeah, the dealer Mahjong.
Oh yeah, right. But yeah, quite a fast Hanchan so far. 1.3k in the middle. Hakupe here for Unifan 69. Will they decide to take it? Oh no, Mochi.
Yes, they do have the Mochi shape, but the problem started before that when they cut the 4 so that. And wow, thank you for illustrating my point. It's very helpful of you. Drawing the door, and obviously the E-pin there is a much better choice. Now they cut it, but it's too late at this point. Actually, there was probably, if you had made that mistake, there was a chance of just keeping the door anyway, because you do want a pair of it. It's not super bad. You could just draw another 4 so not the end of the world. But yeah, this hand is probably not going to turn with this. We have the Honitsu attempt from Big Belly here, but that doesn't look particularly fortuitous because the Haku is not going to come out. And other people are looking faster than that. I mean, we have the Dora cut here. That hand is in Ishantan actually, although the Ishantan is not the greatest one, but it's not so bad either. And potentially from Crazy, we even have a Tanyo shift. Well, they rejected.
Five man.
Unifan was just going. Ooh, nice little draw there. That is Tenpai. Does take the Rishi. Which way? Okay, goes for the Shampone with one of the 3 mon out, another in a hand. Will just be winning on the spin and Deepatsumo.
You get Deepatsumo.
Reach
there was a little bit of debate whether you should even reach it and not wait for an upgrade, but well, the results speak for themselves a lot of the time, and they get themselves out of last place. And now Unifan, having lost their last dealer turn and being in last place with the Oyakabari.
Yeah. So we do see here that with that nice little Mangan-sumo, and Hombre now gets themselves out of last place, still quite far away from first place. Cyber kind of hoarding all the points there. But we are in South 2, and so Big Belly, this is Big Belly's chance to try and like close that lead, if he can.
Yeah, the lead is as such that it's going to be very, very difficult if you don't win some dealer repeats to actually make it up. And they actually have Crazy with potential Honitsu here. It's not super out of this world that they might actually win this. It's in Yanshantan right now. If they call the Hatsu, it's going to be an Ishantan, and they're in Ishantan without calling Hatsu. And this could get very bad very quickly. I mean, they need the 4 and the 7, so it's not particularly wide, but they do have some side upgrades, so you could even see something if they draw a 2, so I mean, not now because now the 5, so if it flows over would be in, but there was something like a Chantari and Peko.
Although, before we even speak of that, Unifan does get into Tenpai first, went for the 2 so 5 so, now switches to a 3-6 so for Tanya Dora 1. And with this, like, this is essentially just like scramble it. Like, if they win this hand, Big Belly's chance at first kind of goes away, which is really good for Cyber. Cyber definitely does want that to happen. He kind of just wants either for him to win or for cheap hands just to pass dealerships.
Yeah.
Well, and Hombre is working towards Kokushi.
Yeah, still quite far away from it. They're only just now at the 10th tile drawn. I'm still waiting for a pair, but seems unlikely that will finish before the end of this. Might actually even be. It's not dead, but it's not. The sort of difficult decision is okay. Well, now the first Haku comes out. I was going to say that no Haku, no Dora actually visible, so that might have been a little bit difficult for one of them. But as I said, that the Dora was drawn, came out instantly, so Crazy's going to be very happy about that, because the only thing they're going to worry about is dealing with the big hands, and once that Dora dies, essentially, the chance of that drastically goes down.
Yep. Pairs now drawn for Unhombre. What do they need? They need the 9 So and the Chun, the 9 9, right?
Now giving 10 pie on the fossil weight here for Crazy. As, yeah, indeed, Hombre essentially still needs a 9 So and 9 mana to Chun.
Yeah, how many Forsos are there left? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Forso is dead, unfortunately. What?
But an upgrade of 1 So or 2 So, and you get Chanta as well. And here we have a chance to switch the weight regardless of the 6 So.
Doesn't choose.
Although 3 So would have dealt
Ishan
in,
10 for Kokushi.
Iso
I mean, I did say that it wasn't gonna happen, but it's been sort of a theme that I've been wrong, and still not happening just yet. But
Well, the 9's dying, but that's in the hand already. So, that is Tempai.
No.
At least I think it is. No, it's not.
No,
No,
it's not. And Forso does come out, dealing into Cyber for Hanitsu only, Bakahon, for 2,000 points. Nice little payday for Cyber as we move into South 3. And yeah, Big Belly and Unifan, I don't know, like, I know anything can happen, but they're probably out of the running for first place. Just going to try and fight for second, considering how tight it is.
Yeah, second place is still very much in reach. So, well, Cyberfan now gonna basically have the choice of trying to extend their lead or have someone else to win. But I mean, at this point, and with this kind of starting hand, there's not really a reason to try and be super passive. They
well,
can
if
just
you're a
try to win
Unifan and looking for some value, there is a very distant Rui So in this, but that's it.
Well, I didn't even consider that, to be honest. But well, maybe depends on what they
Well,
draw.
when the
Even
4
this-
So is passed, it's definitely okay. Going for probably Toy Chinitsu, and still, I think I would have called the 4 So regardless. And okay, now we have to actually start thinking about it.
Actually, is there a Hatsuris Rui So in Tenho? I don't know. It's never come up in my life.
Yes, you can have a Hatsulis Rui.
It's kind of an interesting choice now, whether they will accept this into their life or not. And they cut the 9 So, which that's one of the more interesting ones they could have discarded.
And passes the 3 So as well.
Well, at this point. Wow.
Oh wow.
Another Ichinomi.
Ew.
Takes the Richinomi. What do you guys think
And
of
if they
cutting
win,
it?
go on.
Oh, what do you guys think of cutting the 9 So instead of cutting the 2 So in that position?
It's kind of gross.
Yeah, I think you'd have to cut the 9 So. I don't think the hand progressed the way I would have played it, but ending up on Richinomi again, I would have called the 4. I would have called the 3. I think there were ways to get a lot more value out of this hand.
Yep. And unfortunately, now Unifan is up against a monster now left here, Richi Tanya Pinfu Ipeiko.
Yeah, the positive part for Unifan is that if they sumo, even if they just get one Dora, they're actually likely going to be in second place if I'm counting this correctly.
Oh, 5 months sumo. Richi Sumo Pinfu Ipeiko Tanyao. 1 Ura would be massive. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit it, but that Mangan does launch Unhombre up to second place, and now we're in Oras. And these players now have very, very defined goals. Big Belly just wants to close an 8.5k gap. Unifan just wants to close a 6.4k gap. And Cyber just wants to win. Or deal into one of either Unifan or Big Belly.
Yeah, unfortunately, well, he can actually deal into most things. And if it's actually, even if it's a Baiman, he's going to be completely fine. As Ombre actually can't even close the gap with the manga and Sumo, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Unhombre's just got a little bit of work ahead of him, that's for sure. Pair draw by Big Belly. Big Belly will run into a decision soon of whether they capitulate their position, or will they definitely go for second place? Are they going to settle for not last or not?
Well, they're going for Honitsu, for Kokoshi rather, so there's your answer.
Yep, no.
So they said they don't want second place, they want first.
Yeah, they don't want second, they just want first.
Unifans Ishan 10, but of course, if you draw the two, ooh, okay, now you have a lot of flexibility.
A lot of flexibility, but it's sort of a difficult decision. And they actually throw this back, which is not the worst thing in the world.
I think.
I think I would have thrown the 8, so.
What about you, Shory? Would you have thrown the 8, so?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. I think the decision was more. Actually, 8 might be technically correct. I think I might have also thrown the chun back. Really, what you're looking for is drawing a 4, so, and at that point, it doesn't really matter what you cut. But I guess
Absolutely.
Oh,
well,
what a
just like
draw!
that, you're gonna Ricci, and it's not gonna matter which one you took.
Yeah, and if they sumo, they are actually, are they exactly out of last place? I don't think they are, because this is this 6,000, 7,500 point lead. So it actually does getting a need sumo would actually put them in second place, in third place rather.
Yeah, because of the Ricci 630 in the middle, you're not comparing to 10,800, but 11,800. We have Tempai across the way.
Oh,
but there's the sumo.
Rishi Sumo King Fudora 1. Any Ura? No Uradora. However, that does put Unifan 100 points in third place, so we end up with Cyber in first place and Hombre in second place. Unifan in third place and Big Belly in last place.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that 20-point difference because of 100 points. That's big. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, the sort of getting that UMA difference is huge in this game, and especially with like the M League UMA. Like if you just look at like being able to like even snatch first with such a thin point difference is very, very important, and we can see that here. And yeah, as Shory said, the sumo brought themselves barely out of last place, which is really, really important. So, gonna bring Cyber into the interview. Sorry.
Yeah.
My stream just
Cyber got that big dealer Mongon and mostly stayed out of the way.
Sorry, give me a second. My internet just started dying.
No, it's the one person we can't afford.
Well, you're supposed to feed the hamsters that are powering your internet. You do remember that, right?
No, they don't get fed, unfortunately. So... Oh, my internet has been an absolute disaster, but I think we're back technically. And welcome, Cyber Angel 2077. Welcome.
Hello.
Congratulations on your win. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling kind of relieved because this is the first place that I have got for my team this season.
Okay.
And they set up a good note saying that everyone in our team has got first place that out after 4 weeks of games.
That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, were there any moments in this Hanchan that you wanted to talk about personally before we let the interviewers say their piece?
Basically, I think this hand is just like the this it's just that Tenho wants me to win it. Like those early tumults really sets up the pace for the game, and it's pretty much by the end, like by the cells, when what I only need to do is to just defend my lead, make sure I don't deal in, make sure I don't make any stupid plays, and then just try to get over the other dealers quickly to to try to shut down other people with split hands.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Corak, got any comments?
So of course you start off the game with nice little Patsumo, but I'm more interested in the hand with the Mongon deal in. Of course, your dealer with the Ricci East 3.
Each.
Or your dealer with Ricci, it's a really lousy wait, and you're just stuck. You're sitting there, eventually you get chased. What's going through your mind at that point?
Oh, you mean South 3?
East 3,
No, I'm pretty sure it's East 3, yeah.
It is indeed East 3.
Yes, East 3. So the thing with Chase Ricci, especially against the dealer, is that basically the player would have enough confidence that his weight is good enough and his expected score is high enough. And in only that case would it be like, be willing to fight against like a kind of early dealer issue. So at that point I was a bit nervous, but because experience in ranking games has like kind of told me that, at some point I may do into, I think the trend to the right side of me. I don't know the exact term, like Simocha or something. I don't know the exact term. Could you please tell me?
Yeah, that's Simocha.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, at that point I was a bit worried, but like eventually I know that my hand is big enough, so I just wait to see how the table unfolds. And I'm glad that it ends up in my favor, although it's not gonna be usually the case. So yeah, I'm grateful for the hand. Basically, that sets up the tone for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah, you absolutely got on a rampage, winning the first 3 hands. Of course, here with the Oradora, turning it into dealer Mongon, and then you mostly tried to stay out of the way. You did have that Honitsu hand late in South round, but as far as I can tell, you're basically staying out of the big fights.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. I basically just to try to because at that stage it's just like these other 3 people fighting for second place with the quite different. So basically, I'm just trying to not be involved, like trying to not making those like commit to those stupid, like rather risky plays, so that I can maintain my advantage going on into the Hanchans.
Well, you certainly played it well, and getting that first place is so important with these M League rules. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Shory, got any comments on the Hanchan?
No, not particularly. I especially kind of liked the Honitsunomi hand, just keeping the hand going, not just sitting back completely, but winning small hands and advancing the round where you can. But yeah, overall, not much else to say. Built up a big lead early and never let it go, so that's how Mahjong is supposed to be played, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I think there's nothing more to say. Congratulations, congratulations, Cyber, on your win. Yeah, hopefully we'll see you on the desk again soon. And yeah, it's really awesome that everyone in your team now has a first place.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, hopefully we just keep the streak going, and yeah, hopefully we get like a better place than last season where we got 7th.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, best of luck in that.
Thank you.
Wrong.
Thank you, everyone.
So, we've ended off that game a little bit early, so we'll go peek at some of the other games if they're still going. This one has 2 overlaps, so we're gonna watch this one. Oh no. My wife.
No, we're not. We're going to try.
We're gonna try. We get rejected. There we go. So we are coming into this one in South 4. Although the dealer does look poised to continue their dealership.
We have 3 pretty good hands. They're close to Tempai. Dealers looks cheapest. But actually, I guess the hand on the dealers is cheapest. We have all sorts of Dora both in this hand and the one across from us. There are also upgrades for things like Tanyao, Ipeco. I can't read the name across from us, but that looks like a really nice hand. It's not quite Ishan 10 though, so it may not
No,
finish.
it's getting quite late for that kind of hand. Unfortunately, the Hanchans at this point is just oftentimes not really going to cut it, which is unfortunate because they're in last place. So I suppose in some way they don't really have anything to lose.
Oh, hey, you can read it now. Okay.
The player on our right is also Ishan 10 for the Sanchoku.
Yeah, the problem with all of this is basically just that it's I mean, look at the amount of tiles remaining in the wall, as we do have the upgrade to Ishanten now, but we're not even gonna make it to Tenpai.
And
Oh,
yeah, it does not get Tempai. That's really tragic when you're sitting in that super white Ishanten on turn 11 turn 11 and you just can't pull it together.
Well, on the right
there's
doesn't.
another.
Oh, this actually does get Tenpai, so maybe they will be into a Hote, but not going to happen.
Good play intentionally breaking Tempai there, locking in the first place.
Yeah, so we do end that one with Uwu's Skull in first place, Desu in second, Ya in third, and Weeb in last place. And, well, okay, I guess we watch this one now, which is also in South 4, unsurprisingly. Yeah.
So I get the feeling this hand is driven by the Hatsudora, considering we see a bunch of very orange tiles.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ara, the Hatsudora is already dead. Nano in first place, and well, she definitely doesn't want to cut the door and give it to the dealer, but no button in that sentence actually.
No, you're just pushing the 5-1 here. I think you have to play for Tempai minimum. You have to assume the dealer is going to be Tempai.
Oh, 8-pin cut still keeps the K10 chance.
Well, I don't like this because that's making you tempted if you draw something around the 5 to just push the Dora.
8-pin drop. Shah drop, and then we have Illegal and Ara in Tempai with Abraham and Nano in No 10. Now we go to South 4-3 with 1.9 in the middle. So the gap between Abraham and Nano is only 3.3k. So the 1.9 pretty much drops the amount of points Abraham needs to not much at all.
Yes, you just need the 2,000, and the hand's already that with the Dora and Chun.
Yeah, they couldn't win that from just anyone, but I mean it's not even particularly necessary. Actually ARMA is going to look to win this hand as well, obviously, and they have a pretty nice hand. If they can call Hatsu, this hand could potentially become a Dila Mangan, and they're not quite giving up on obviously trying to get out of fourth place first and foremost, but even having some ambitions for first place here, really.
So Nano over there is offered a pretty interesting option. The Chinitsu looks there, but not really desired or needed, especially if you have to drop 2 Dora in the process. So Tanya seems more likely, but the Penchan does block up the Tanya quite a lot too. Hakupon here for Ara puts them into Ishan 10 with the Haku Dora 2, which would be a nice little payday for them if they can get it.
Absolutely. As it's going to be interesting seeing what Nano is going to really end up doing at this hand, as we do get the Tenpai, and the good part about this Tenpai is that it can actually take in more Dora. It could take in the Aka 5-man, even though it won't because it's dead. But it can take the 6-pin in as well, and that would actually give it a Toy as well, and that's a hand that gets them in first place in one go.
Oh, that 7-so draw for Nano puts them into a really nice situation. Unfortunately, they draw the 7-man. And what are they going to do? They cut it!
Oh, does throw it. Deals in.
Deals
and that's
in.
3 Han.
Oh, deals in, and that's a heavy deal in for Nano. Not only do they lose first place, they're in threat of not even coming second place here as we go into South 4-4. And now it really is anybody's game. Aro can win a pretty decently sized hand here and take a very aggressive first place. Illegal also in the position where I think they now can Mangan Sumo and get first place.
I think 100 points short.
Oh, would they be 100 points short?
Let's see. Yeah, 12 would be a 7, and first would lose 4, so that's an 8.
Hatsu Pon, therefore Nano. Is Nano settling for second place?
At this point, you have to figure that's what's happening. As just said, okay, well, the dreams are dead. Maybe if we back into Toy Toy, or if we get some Dora, we can do some shifting. But as of right now, just sees the Hatsu and calls it. I think passing was probably better play, though.
So,
Oh, it's very, very difficult.
I think it's very
Ooh, also
difficult as
passed that.
well. Especially because you're not dashing your chances at first place. If you can draw the 8-pin, then your hand does suddenly wake up with something that, like, resembles going for first place. But the problem is that the hand is just too awkward without the Hatsu Pon.
Illegal's hand is now very scary. Could be Toy Toy Dora 4.
And I've been sort of ruling him out, but that hand could even bring illegal into first place.
Toy Toy Dora 4? Yeah, Haneman Sumo.
If there's another 8, then yeah. Wouldn't even need Sumo from anyone. If it deals in for anyone with 4 Homba in the middle, it's first place.
4-man draw there for Nano going into Ishan 10. Oh, into a weirder Ishan 10 rather.
Not even a better Ishanton,
Yeah.
just a weird Ishanton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you did have extra pairs. You've already called the 3-so, so you haven't done much. You could have cut, anything in Mon. You'd love to be able to switch this into, but it's just so late. And there are a lot of tiles you'd have to get.
Abraham
Home.
getting
Hey.
into a relatively wide Tanya Ishant here. We have a very interesting call here from aiming for the Tanya at some point. Something with the 8-pin, 9-pin, but it's very difficult to get rid of.
So draw.
The 4 pins probably coming out here.
Yep. Seven, so draw
There's
now. And...
I think he just Dama.
Yeah, the ideal draw. There's some.
The one time I would ever advocate a 3-sided weight Dama.
Home.
Pawn on the 8, so puts Nanaka into into Tenpai for the counter on 3-man for Hatsunomi. Sumo on the 5-pin does give Abraham first place. Sumo, Pinfu, Tanyao. So if Abraham in first place, Nanaka in second place, Ara in third place, and Illegal in last place. And that does wrap up our day's worth of Mahjong. We're gonna go and have a quick look at the spreadsheet before we move on. So we technically saw the results for all 3 of those games, and then for the games that we didn't watch, we have these 2 over here, I believe. So, you can take that for what they will. Gwill's a very strong first place and plus 72.3 points. You guys have the spreadsheets on your own, right?
Absolutely, we have the spreadsheets.
Yes, I have it.
I mean, I do.
But yeah, it's sort of just a very, very nice first place there. I'm wondering if we can get an update on the points. I'm not 100% sure and if someone is doing that right now, so I'm just waiting around.
I cannot, by the way, for the one of me believe that we had a table with people who were named Weeb, Des, Uwu, and Nya.
Did we? Yeah, we did miss that, didn't we?
That's a matchup of the gods.
Uwu, Weeb, Desu, and Nya. Yep, this is the table we should have watched, just so that we had to say that while we were commentating.
Oh, well, thank God we missed out on that then.
Oh gosh. Okay, I think there's someone who's currently updating it. So there we go. One of the very many friendly support staff here. Maybe.
Yes, thank you, Anthony.
Is it Totoro who's doing it?
It says it on the Google Sheet, yeah.
Oh, yes, Totoro, I think. Thank the gods. So, I think this automatically counts the scores up. So, I think these are the updated scores as of week 4. So, as of week 4, we have AUNSW Wanderers in first place, Tower Dreaming in second, Tanya Sensation in third, Itsu Anko in fourth, Ron Devil Ron in fifth, Urasan in sixth, Itchy Richie Fingers in seventh, Eramangosaurus in eighth, Janken Sumo in ninth, Unistar Fan Club in 10th, UW in 11th, the Free Agent Team in 12th, the Golden Shun in 13th, and Janken Ron in 14th place. I want to take...
too, but yeah, it's a lot of it's a scramble for 7th and 8th place if you look at the scores. Very close together.
Yeah, very, very tight. But that's generally happens, is like you sort of see like a segmenting of the score lines, especially around the cutoff. Oh, I just noticed that the spreadsheet is kind of... Yep, alright, thank you for that feedback. I will fix that next time. But I want to take this time to thank the support staff, so the admin staff who make all of this possible. We have Cheese, SBT, and Totoro. So these guys like do a lot of the behind-the-scenes action, organizing games, sending out reminders, updating spreadsheets. It's quite, they are what make these tournaments run. So I want to take this time to thank them. And thank you to our lovely co-commentators for taking the time to commentate with us. Corak has to get up at 6 in the morning to do the commentary, and I know that I've been sort of just dragging around Shory about doing this. So I want to thank you guys both for setting aside just a few hours of your time to help us commentate.
Advance the international Mahjong community. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us and commentating. I hope we will see you guys next time. Hopefully we can get you again this season if you guys have time for it.
Sure, just write me a message. We will see.
Yep.
Yeah, plan it, coordinate it. Anytime I have to deal with this god awful time in the morning, may require some prep notice.
Yeah,
but was interesting, especially that first game was absolutely wild.
Oh yeah, the last 2 hands of the first game, that was some good stuff. But yeah, with that, we will bid you guys adieu, and hopefully you guys will come next week for some more Mahjong and more ARMA Team League. Till then, see you guys.